Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Silvia Ningrum, NIM 1882591 dari Prodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris. Now we can learn about translations of Sapardi Djoko Darmono's poem into English untuk memenuhi tugas mata kuliah academic presentation dengan dosen pengampu Ari Fajar Istiati. Introduction. In addition to translating language, in the translations process, the translator must also to translate the cultural content in the text, compared to other literary genres. Poem can be considered the most difficult to translate. Translating poem in a work really done by a translator, not only because in translating the poem, the translator must respect the beauty of the original poetic text, but also because he has to re-express the meaning contained in the poem into the poem text of the target language. So, some people think translating poem is impossible because it is considered to replace the whole beauty of the original poetic text. Theory. According to Levifer, 1975, there are 7 translation strategies that can be used to translate poem, namely 1. Polemic translations, which is a translation strategy that tries to recreate the sound of source poem into target poem or create the same sound between source poem and target poem and at the same time convey meaning. 2. Literal translations is a literal translation strategy which applies word-for-word translations. 3. Metric translations is a translation strategy that emphasizes that target poem has the same metric as source poem. 4. Translations of stanzas is a translation strategy by changing the structure of poetic text into the form of prose text structure. 5. Rhyme translations is a translation strategy that emphasizes the transfer of rhymes of source poem to target poem. 6. Fashion translations is a translation strategy by changing the form of source poem into another form as target poem. 7. Interpretation translations, namely the translation strategy by reproducing and interpreting the structure of source poem into target poem by maintaining the compositions and topic of source poem. Next is methodology. It is a descriptive, qualitative study. The data source are the poem Sajak Orang Gila by Sapardi Djoko Darmono and its translation Ballad of a Crazy Man by John H. McClyde. The poem Sajak Orang Gila and its translations in English Ballad of a Crazy Man consists of 6 parts. In parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, it consists of 2 stanzas, whereas section 6 consists of 3 stanzas. The total of lines in each stanza varies. The analyzed units are words, expressions, and sentences in all lines and verses of the poem. Result are discussions. In the poem translation above, from 13 stanzas, only 2 stanzas, stanza 6 and stanza 11, which are translated with interpretations, translation strategy. The other 11 stanzas are translated with literal translation strategy. Translation of stanza 6 and stanza 11 used interpretations translation strategy, namely translation strategy by reproducing and interpreting the structure of source poem into target poem by maintaining and compositions and topic of source poem. From the table above, we can see that in general the total of words in the target poem is greater than the total of words is the search poem. Only in the first stanza, second line, the second stanza, third line, the fourth stanza, second line, 4, and the sixth stanza, second line, the total of words in the target poem is less than the total of words in the search poem. This is due to the use of words in the target language and the effect of structure on the target language. The last is conclusions. The translations of the sajak Orang Gila into English Ballad of a Crazy Man has been done well by translator. Although the literary translation strategy, the article is said to be inappropriate to translate poem. In effect, the translations of the poem Sajak Orang Gila is able to present poem which is poetic and interesting to read, although there are some discrepancies at the word level. It does not really affect the content of the poem. In general, the meaning of the source poem compared to the target poem. Okay everyone, thanks for watching and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.